So we've mixed our glucose calibration curve, and now we need to work out how much glucose or fructose is in here. Now there's 3 types of sugars we need to be aware of. Our calibration curve takes care of the glucose and the fructose. So they get measured together, and that's using the DNSA. The sucrose can't be measured. The sucrose is not a reducing sugar. It's not going to change the DNSA. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 measurements of the sugars in my sports drinks that I have here. I'm going to do 1 measurement of just the glucose and fructose of the DNSA, so the sucrose won't be measured. And then the second measurement is going to be breaking down the sucrose, and the sucrose will break down into a new lot of glucose and fructose. So the second measurement will be all the glucose and fructose, including the digested sugars. So what we're going to do is 2 measurements. I need to do my digestion of the sucrose first. So I'm going to break apart the sucrose into glucose and fructose. So to do that, I have digested, D is for digested. I'm going to have 1 ml of my sports drink. That's 500 microliters, so I need 2 of them for 1 ml. Then I'm going to add my buffer, because the buffer always gets added before my enzyme, and this is 8.5 mils of buffer at a pH of 5. Must always be the right pH before my enzyme will work effectively. Give that a mix. And then lastly, I need to add 500 microliters or 0.5 mils of my invertase, which is my enzyme. So I need to have my tip. So that is now going to be breaking apart my sucrose into glucose and fructose. And to do that, I need to heat it up to speed up my reaction to the optimum temperature, which is 55 degrees. And I'm going to leave it in there for 5 minutes. Okay, I've now removed my digested sucrose in my sports drink. And what I'm going to do now is make it up to 25 mils, just like I've already diluted 1 mil of my sports drink and made it up to 25. I'm now going to take the original 1 mil from here and make it up to 25 so they're the same dilution. So I need to do this quantitatively. I need to make sure that I get all of it in. So I do my initial pour in, and then just like before, I need to rinse it out. I do it in a series of small ones just to make sure that I've got it all. One final one. And now I need to make it up to the 25 mils, just like I've done for the other sports drink. Now I need to make sure that it's mixed thoroughly. And what I'll do is to increase that. I need to make sure it's mixed thoroughly because I'm going to take a mil out of it in a moment. So I need to make sure it's representative. Okay, so I have my 2 solutions. One has got undigested sucrose and one has got the digested sucrose. So this one should have a lot less of the fructose and glucose than this one. Sucrose digests down to glucose and fructose. Now I need to have 1 ml of each. And I'm going to go through the same method as I did before with the DNSA. And just like before, I'm going to have 1 ml of my DNSA. Give it a mix. And just like before, I'm now going to put them both on just simmering water for 5 minutes, and so that it will allow the reduction of the DNSA into ANSA. So my 5 minutes are up for my digested and undigested sports drink. So it's really quite difficult to take 1 ml out of the bottom of these tubes. So what I'm going to do is put it into these small beakers here. My not digested or undigested is going into here, and that cools the solution as well. And my digested will go into here. Now my digested will have a higher concentration of glucose and fructose, and if it has a higher concentration of glucose and fructose, it should be a darker color. And then when we make comparisons, we can see that we do have that slightly darker color in the digested, because there's more glucose and fructose to reduce the DNSA into ANSA. So what I now need to do is add 0.5 ml of each of these into my 12 ml of distilled water that I prepared earlier. Now to mix them thoroughly. Now I'm going to add them into the cuvettes. Clean up my mess. I have my undigested and I have my digested. And what we're going to do is we're going to now put them into our spectrophotometer, and with our spectrophotometer we're going to measure the absorbance of both of the two solutions, and then use the calibration curve to measure exactly how much glucose was present and how much sucrose was present. So we'll be able to actually calculate the amount of sucrose present in our sports drink.